Hey, what is going on guys? It is Young here, and today I'm back in our Fortnite video. In today's video, I'm going to give you guys some tips and tricks on how to get better and as well how to improve here for Season 8. I have 4 things in this video that I want to be talking about and just different things you can work on to help you guys get better at the game. And before we get into the video, I have a V-Buck giveaway. I'm going to be giving away some V-Bucks at 130,000 subscribers. So if you guys want a chance to win some V-Bucks, all you have to do is to drop a like on this video. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel, turn on my notifications, and as well leave a comment down below of your Xbox gamer tag, your PSN gamer tag, or Epic account. And like I said, as soon as I reach 130,000 subscribers, I'm going to be giving away some V-Bucks. So make sure you guys enter the giveaway. And as well, if you guys want to add me and support me as a creator in the item shop, all you have to do is go over to the item shop, go down to support a creator, type in my code is Young Humor, and you guys will have me added and supported as a creator. I really do appreciate everyone who does. And alright guys, let's get right to the video. Alright, so in this video, I'm going to give you guys some different things that I personally have been working on to help me improve at this game. So I'm going to be talking about a few things that I feel like every player who's playing in Season 8 needs to work on these 4 things if they want to improve in Fortnite and become a lot better, a lot faster. And so starting off with the first thing that I think a lot more people should be taking advantage of, and just one thing that I think a lot more people should actually be working on, is specifically SMG aim. And aiming with SMG or using SMGs here in Season 8, I think is even more important than ever for a lot of reasons. And I would think it really became very important as soon as they took out the regular SMGs and they put in suppressed SMGs. I think that changed a lot to the game, the way it's played, just because the regular SMGs, for those of you guys who don't know, it was about 19 damage, and now the suppressed SMGs are 23, so they do a lot more damage than they previously have. And that small difference between 19 and 23 makes a huge difference, because when using 23 damage, it's going to take one less shot to knock the player at 100 HP than if you were shooting him for 19s. And as well, headshots are a lot different. With the regular SMGs, the headshot was only about 37, and with the suppressed ones, I think it was all the way up to 48. So that's a huge difference, and SMGs are just so important in this game. It's something that I have to use every single game. Shotgun SMG is very, very good. And so there's a lot of different ways to go about improving your shotgun aim, and I'm going to make a video on accuracy tomorrow depending on what day you're watching this video. I'm going to be covering a lot more tips that you guys can use to help you guys improve your accuracy with SMGs and as well just any gun in the game. But when it comes to improving your aim with SMGs, I think one of the most important things to improve on is hip firing with the SMG. And when it comes to those really close quarter fights, so maybe you get a pump shot off and you switch to a SMG really close. As you can see here in this fight, I absolutely lasered that guy with my SMG. And so hip fires of the SMG are a little bit different than aiming down sights, because hip firing SMG close range I think is a lot more effective and a lot more easy to hit your shots when you're at those closer ranges. And kind of those sort of short distance to mid range fights, aiming with the SMG is going to be way better. So definitely practicing your SMG aim, getting a lot better with SMGs is going to put you a huge advantage in this game, and you're going to be able to win a lot more fights just because SMGs are so useful in this game. And so moving on to the second thing, and the second thing really isn't more of something to really improve on. It's just kind of something that I think is very useful for me and something that I use whenever I can, and that is going to be using 2 heals. And so a normal loadout, I'm pretty sure what everybody runs is an AR pump SMG, unless you're playing in a scrim lobby, and a lot of people just run AR pumps and just run some stink bombs, heals, or whatever they run, or maybe even a rift. But when it comes to pubs, and what most people are running is an AR SMG, and they either have a sniper rifle or a heal. And most of the time, if I'm using a sniper rifle, I'm probably going to be dropping my SMG depending on the situation. But when it comes to using 2 heals in Fortnite, I think it's more important than ever, because you're not going to have a lot of HP and mats, all that kind of good stuff. And I just had game after game where I was dying or getting screwed over, because if I have a heal, it's obviously going to be some shield. I'm going to carry shield over a medkit and bandages it any day. But I just had game after game I'd get hit by a smoke grenade or just something where I would lose a lot of HP. Yes, I could replenish some of my my shield, but when it comes to my actual HP, I just couldn't replace it, and I was just constantly losing games because I didn't have any bandages, didn't have any medkits or anything like that. So instead I started to carry 2 heals. I used to carry gliders in my inventory. For those of you guys who've been watching my videos before the update, I was rocking gliders in every single one of my updates because I could rotate around the map the fastest way possible using those. So that's what I was using every single game. But since they took that out, most people aren't even build fighting too much, to be honest with you, and probably because I don't think they have enough mats to, because if they try to build fight, they're going to be running out of mats very quickly, and even after that fight, they're barely going to have any mats. So a lot of people aren't going to be building a ton of structures constantly unless they're just trying to run out of mats and die to that. But for the most part, people aren't going to be building up and up. So running 2 heals, I think, is going to be way more crucial and way more beneficial for me when it comes to winning games and staying alive longer than running a glider to run around and push people. And I've still been able to drop a decent amount of kills without having to run a glider, because they did add the reboot van, and I feel like a lot more people are staying alive. Not like a crazy amount, but I feel like definitely a lot more people have been staying alive in this game, as opposed to when they had HP and mats per kill in the game. And so the third thing that I want to be talking about in this video is changing your playstyle, because I've had to change my playstyle a ton, and that's the one thing that screws me over the most. Is I'm really glad Epic does implement a lot of changes. They change the game up, they make it new and fresh, but at the same time, when they do add some drastic changes, it makes me change my playstyle. I can't play the same way as I has before. For example, back in, I think it was October, November, when they had a glider redeploy in the game, and when they took it out, I think they took it out probably December. I can't remember exactly when the time frame of that was, but when they took it out, I had to drastically change my playstyle because I couldn't play the same way as before. So with that being said, there was a lot of different things I needed to change about my playstyle, and as well just how I approached gunfights, how I was rotating from team to team, because I couldn't push as fast for one thing, and as well I was just getting screwed over constantly to fall damage, so I had to worry about improving my building so I wasn't getting just shot out really quickly. So that's one thing that I started to do. And since that HP and mats are out of the game, I had to slow down my playstyle a little bit. I had to make sure off that early game, if I wanted to stay alive, I at least had to try to make a good effort to try to get any sort of shield, and as well just try to get a decent amount of mats, because if I didn't, I knew for sure I was going to be losing and choking in that early game. So with the constant updates being made to the game, and this could go for any season or any update, you really have to be prepared to change your playstyle from time to time, because there is going to be quite a few updates they make into this game. I'm sure in the future as well, it's really going to change how the game is played, and you're going to have to change your playstyle if you want to continue to be really good at this game with all the updates going on. So like I said, changing your playstyle and learning how to adapt to different type of gameplays and different things like that is going to be very crucial and one of the best ways to improve and as well get better at this game from season to season. And the last thing in this video that I want to be talking about, and the thing that's really going to help you guys out win a lot more games and such like that, is something that I talked about a little bit. I haven't talked about it too much, but that's going to be conserving your materials and knowing how to conserve your mats, because most of the time in this game, as you can see in the end game, I do have quite a bit of mats, but for the majority of the game, unless you kill the one player that goes to Lonely Lodge or somewhere where they farm mats the whole game, most of the time you're going to be running around with like 300 mats, 400 mats at most, unless you're farming up yourself. And so you're not going to be having a ton of mats, so if you're every time that you go into a gunfight, you want to make sure that you're saving the most amount of mats that you possibly can. You don't want to be burning extra mats on whatever reason, so you have to be very careful on how much mats you spend. So the difference between ramping up with a single ramp, ramping up with a double ramp, just different things like that is going to make a huge difference whether or not you're going to have shield in the late game or even going into that next fight in the early game or whatever the case may be. And this kind of does tie into the thing I said earlier when changing your playstyle, because before, if you killed like 2 guys all spawn, you're immediately going to have 300 mats. I think nowadays you're really going to have more likely like 40 or 50, and that's a huge difference, and you have to change your playstyle a ton based on the amount of mats that you have. So it really does tie into the first thing with changing your playstyle and also conserving your materials, because you want to be making sure you do both if you want to be able to win those games consistently and just not get screwed over from game to game because of having no materials and just running into fights and then just getting sprayed to death. So to be honest with you guys, I think those are probably some of my top 4 things that I think that you guys need to work on to get really consistent at this game, especially in the current state of Fortnite. and for seasons to come. I think those are going to be some of the top things you guys need to work on, and working on those things and getting really good at them is something that's really going to help you guys out when it comes to clutching out those games and just being a lot more consistent in Fortnite. And those are some things that I'm also been working on. SMG accuracy is something that I've been working on a ton, and I feel like I've gotten really good at it. But probably one of the #1 things that I need to work on myself is conserving materials and changing my playstyle. Those are my top 2 things that I need to improve on, and something that I've been working on. I think it's going to make a huge difference in my game once I start to get really good at doing those things. And with that being said, that's wrap up for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope you guys liked it, and if you guys could, drop a like on this video. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Turn on my notifications to be notified for every single new video. And alright guys, I'll see you next video.